Tamara Basic Tease here, and this week I'm going to show you a little bit about my Consew straight stitch industrial sewing machine. I did have a subscriber ask, so let's take a look. This is my Consew 230R industrial sewing machine. I probably bought it maybe 20 years ago. Every time I had machines in the past, like home machines, they would always break. So this used to have a light attached to it, but it broke off, and the guy who works on my machine suggested that I just use a clip light. So I've usually got a clip light on there, but I've moved it up top so that you guys can see better. This little gauge right here, when the machine's running, it'll have oil that pokes through the top of it so that you can see that there's oil in the machine. The thing about industrial machines are they're like small engines, so you have to make sure that there's oil in them like a car. This dial controls the stitch length. Mine set at 4 bigger numbers, longer stitches, smaller numbers, shorter stitches. This little lever right here actually controls the reverse stitch. So if I want the machine to go and reverse the stitch, I push down on this. So this is the bottom part of the machine. As you can see at the very top is where the engine is. So let's see if you can look at that a little bit better. There's the motor, the engine to the machine. And this little padded thing down here actually is for your knee to lift up on the pressure foot. I'm going to move this down a little bit lower now. So if I was sewing and I wanted the machine to move, I would put my foot on this pedal, and it's not turned on right now. But I would push the pedal and it would speed up or slow down with this pedal right here. And then if I want to lift up the pressure foot, I would just put my knee to the right and push it over, and that lifts up the pressure foot just by using my knee. So stitch, lift up the foot. It's off right now, but when you turn it on, you can hear the engine kind of rev up. You need to make sure that the engine is like fully on and revved up before you start using it. I've heard that it's bad for the machine if you don't. So I'm kind of struggling on how to show this to you with a steady camera. So bear with me. I've got my GoPro on my chest mount, and we'll do a boob shake real quick. Okay, here we go. So I use cone thread. And the cone thread, you just put right back here on the back side of your machine, and you put the thread through, and it goes through a little loop right here, and then it comes all the way down, and you put it underneath, and then through, and then kind of wrap it around a little bit, and then put it through, and then put it between these like pressure things. I don't know what they're called. When this guy asked me to do this tutorial, I'm like, I am not a sewing machine expert, but I told him I would do it anyway. So after that, you put it through there, and then it goes through a little hole right up here, and then it goes down, and it goes down, and then it loops through, and then goes back down again. I'll scoot over so you can see it a little bit better. So it went down, it looped up, it went back down again. I gotta lift it up here with my knee so the thread will go through. So after that, you put it through this little loop thing, you loop it all the way around. You take the thread and loop it all the way around these two clasp closure things. If you use the knee release, it loosens that up so it's not tight anymore. And then when you're done with that, there's a little teeny tiny hook right here. I don't know if you can see it. And it goes in that hook. It's kind of moving right now. You can see it. And then it goes underneath. It comes back up around. This whole time my knee is lifting up on the pressure foot, so the tension's not real tight. And then after it goes around and loops up, you actually have to put it through this little hole right here, and then put it all the way down, and then you put it through this little loopy thing right here, And then it comes down and you thread your needle. The thing about threading a needle, get you a better view of this. The thing with threading the needle on these machines that I thought was really odd compared to the regular home machine is that you actually thread it through to your right. It doesn't go straight back, it threads through to your right. So the holes on the left hand side, and then usually on all the needles there's like a little indentation on one side that's supposed to be the back side, and that's over here on the right. So the next step would probably be winding the bobbin. So here's a bobbin, and it actually goes right here, and it's got a little lever. Let me push it back a little farther so you can see it, that you push so that you can thread the bobbin. So you take your thread and you put it through the little tension bar things. I don't think you can see that, but it's through that little tension bar thing. It's not connected to the top at all. It's just got the loop over top where the thread was that I showed you earlier. And then it goes through the tension thing, and then you thread it through a hole, and then it comes back. So I had the wrong bobbin, so we're just going to take this thread and we're going to wrap it around a couple times, the bobbin. And I've turned the power on, and make sure this is pushed back, and then you just push the foot and it winds it up. Now I'm going to show you how to put the bobbin in the bobbin case and show you how to put it underneath. This video has been so challenging for me because I never crawl underneath my sewing machine and look at it. So you've got an opening in the bobbin case, and you want to make sure the thread's going off to the right instead of the left. You don't want it this way, you want it this way. And then you insert that inside the bobbin case, and then there's a little notch that you need to put it in. So you bring it down, put it in that notch, wrap it back around, and then it goes in this little hole right here, and then you wrap it in the hole. So when you turn it around to go where it belongs, which is why we're under my sewing machine, which is up here, you want to open this up, this little lever right here, because that'll help. It kind of locks it in. So you open that up, and then you put it inside. I have to kind of look because I never get under here. Of course, there's thread stuck in there. So you open it up and you put it inside. So, and I guess I need to show you how to bring the bottom thread up. So I am going to go ahead and thread the needle and show you how I get the thread from the bobbin and the bobbin case below. I did want to mention before then though that this wheel actually goes towards you when you move it instead of away from you. The other two machines I have, you move the needle having it go away from you. This straight stitch machine, you have it go towards you. And this is the part that would always break on a regular home machine for me. I remember having the plastic piece pop up, and I had all kinds of different issues with it. So let's go and look at the needle. So I'm turning it towards me, and I'm moving the needle up. So, and then you're going to thread it to the side. Hopefully I can get this the first try because I'm old and I can't really see anymore. Sometimes I wish I could use a magnifying glass. I know they sell them. If you go to the fabric store, you'll notice that they sell magnifying glasses so that people can thread their stuff. Oh my goodness. Since I'm on film, I can't do it. Okay. Nope, I got it. So I'm using my knee lever to lift it up so that the tension's gone, and I pulled it all the way through. So you let it go underneath here. I had to move my camera out of the way. So it's underneath, and you move that wheel so it goes towards you, and it picks up the thread down below. So there, I've got both the bobbin thread and the top thread. So one other thing that I wanted to show you is that since it has its own engine and it's like a car, this actually flips up, and there's a peg in the back. See that peg right there, that brown peg that it like leans up against when it leans over? So you can just, it's got hinges on it, so you can just push it and it'll go back. And we had to do this to change the belt when we changed the belt really recently. So this is the bottom of it, where the oil is, and there's 2 arrows right here, and the oil just needs to be in the center there somewhere to be to the fill line. So if you have an industrial machine, just make sure it always has oil in it. Another little interesting story, I guess, that I have is that this tubing that's on it used to be plastic, and it kind of got brittle and broke a whole bunch. And I used fish tank tubing to replace it, and wow, it has gotten really brittle too, just from being on here. But usually it's real flexible and flimsy, and it moves really easy. But this has probably been on here for probably about 15 years. But this is what the other one looked like, the clear. You just want to make sure that there's oil running through the machine all the time and all the parts are well oiled. Well, I hope you found this little tidbit of information that I could share with you educational. If you like what I'm dishing out, go ahead and subscribe.